Welcome to A Human Perspective. Lola, why aren't you smiling? I pause. Well, it's Monday. It's 8:30 a.m. and I'm on a Zoom call. Oh, and you're 1 hour ahead. When I think back to this instance, I'm a little annoyed I felt I had to explain myself. There I was thinking I was being a great employee by even agreeing to do the call before my workday officially starts. And the first thing that is noticed is that I'm not smiling. I came off the call feeling minimized and like my efforts didn't truly matter. Not the most encouraging or best way to start the day. Not smiling doesn't mean I'm thinking or feeling anything in that moment. It simply means I'm not smiling. Why is this even being brought up? At the time, I felt the question was extremely inappropriate, as well as an unnecessary and demeaning expectation, especially as a woman, especially as a Black woman. Am I just here to smile for you? Why is this important to you? Do you need me to smile so you feel good or better about yourself? Do you need me to smile so you feel more comfortable? There was a time when showing up with your false professional self was the norm, and there were nuances around what this looked like. But the world is changing. Concepts around being a good or bad employee are shifting, with more emphasis being placed on impact and being candid. We've all got ideas in our mind about what happy looks like, but what is the real meaning? According to Cambridge Dictionary, happy is feeling, showing, or causing pleasure or satisfaction. Dictionary.com, delighted, pleased, or glad over a particular thing. Merriam-Webster, feeling pleasure and enjoyment because of your life or situation, etc. Is this a realistic state of being, particularly when at work or when attending a meeting? Is it possible to be in this mode 100% of the time? Should we expect our colleagues to be? Is this a fair expectation or a burden? Do you know the people I worry about the most? The always happy ones. They walk around masking their true feelings with their smiles and happy demeanor. Pros at appearing to be exemplary employees, always positive, always jumping in to help, constantly lifting and often carrying their team with their energy. Sounds great, right? Well, don't forget that life is all about balance. When the scales are tipped too far one way, there is an imbalance and the person holding the scales suffers the most. When you spend so much time emotionally investing in other people, what is left for yourself? When someone is always happy, always on, they are not accepting, processing, dealing, and effectively managing the full gamut of their feelings. And this may not have an outwardly impact when you interact with them, but believe me, it is slowly eroding their inner happiness and spirit. Where do the negative feelings go? They don't just not exist. We'd be naive to believe they simply vanish into thin air. They have to go somewhere. Sometimes they stay in the body, having negative effects mentally, physically, or both. Sometimes they are pushed onto their closest relationships. Sometimes the feelings come out whenever they're alone, and that can be a very dangerous place. We tell people they can bring their whole selves to work, but do we understand what this truly means? What this looks like? What this requires of you as a colleague or manager? In order to be your whole and true self, you need to feel safe enough to be that. Safe enough to falter, safe enough to feel unhappy or sad or frustrated or angry or simply not smile. Being always happy, the positive one, always smiling, is a heavy crown and burden to carry. Imagine what it takes to wake up and be this person every day. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. It's not natural to appear to be happy all the time, and it's not sustainable. It also creates an unrealistic standard and perception of what being a good employee is. We don't go to work to simply sit around and smile at each other all day, pushing out love and positivity from our chests like Care Bears. We go to work to get shit done. Ideally, excellent shit. Epic shit. And in order for this to happen, diversity in thought and conflicts are necessary. When a culture of smiles and positivity is promoted over candor, the team is held back. If you cannot be open about your opinions, problems aren't addressed and don't get fixed. These problems deepen and will eventually lead to team or even company failure. I urge you to look at the culture you promote within your own team, through your words and your actions. Who do you exemplify and why? What behaviors do you reward? Do you tend to lean more towards results or behaviors, and why? How do specific behaviors impact how you feel about yourself? How can you better manage your bias and feelings around them? If you truly wish to build and cultivate a diverse workforce, you need to understand that diversity is not simply sexual orientation or skin color. It also comes in a range of mental capacities, personalities, and demeanors. And all must feel accepted, welcome, and valued. This diversity of thought and approach is what gives teams the winning edge. It also takes the pressure off your always on, always happy team members, enabling them to be more authentic, which in turn prevents them burning out from their own positivity. There is a lot of value in those employees who appear to not be tap dancing with a smile 24/7. Often they see things from a realistic lens. And if you're willing to listen, like really listen, you might just learn something and actually fix something. A smile is just a smile. It is not a representation of how productive or impactful or kind or even happy someone is. Take the time to know and humanize the people you work with, especially the ones you don't naturally click with. Give people the room to know and feel their feelings, all of them, are valid. This will make them feel much more comfortable and validated as a member of the team, which will in turn positively impact their real happiness. So pull in the not so smiley colleague, don't avoid them, get to know them and understand their perspective. By avoiding or dismissing them, you minimize their voice and self-worth. It makes them defensive and feel they are not valued, which in turn has an impact on their mental and sometimes physical health. Check in on your smiley colleague, grab a coffee, and encourage them to be more open about how they truly feel. Ask them how things are going, what their real opinions are. When they say something negative, they may try to backtrack. Let them know it's okay to be honest and sit with them in that space for some time so they feel safe. Don't avoid the uncomfortable. This is where we all find the most growth. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of A Human Perspective, and I'll see you in the next one.